Howdy music fans, today I'm going to show you my Ike and Tina Turner CDs. I've got my Ike and Tina shirt on. I know that may be a sore subject for some people because Ike was such an asshole, but he was a superb songwriter and musician, very talented, very prolific, and I love their music, so I try to set that aside at least for the music. And let's get started. Ike and Tina Turner, finger pop, masters of the blues, finger pop, and 10 legendary hits. And this is some of their older stuff, which I like. I got turned on to them by a friend of my brother's who turned me on to Chuck Berry and turned me on to Ike and Tina Turner. This is a great collection called the Ike and Tina Turner Sessions, and it's a Kent release, Kent CDs, Kent or label is a record label. And this has a nice collection of their older stuff. They're a very difficult band to collect in the sense that there is no definitive anything on them. There's no box set, there's no there's greatest hit CDs, but they're all, I don't know, it's very difficult they're all over the place. And part of the reason for that is they recorded for many different labels. They recorded singles, they jumped around a lot. And then small batches of songs here and there. So it's hard to really collect them unless you just collect them. And so there's not lots of, but there is some overlap. This is called It's Gonna Work Out Fine. I have no reason to believe that this is the actual album, although there are only 12 songs on here, so I certainly could look that up and find out if this is the actual album. Some of the songs I got turned on to as a kid are in this collection here, which I showed you on my plain and simple CDs box collection, CD box set collection, mostly clamshell box sets and slipcase box sets. This is a very nice set. It looks like, these are definitely album covers that they had at the time that were album covers, but there's so many songs on each of these discs that I tend to think that they are collections. Some great pictures of Tina there, and that maybe they are the actual records with bonus tracks, maybe, but I am not sure. But a lot of the songs that first turned me on to Ike and Tina Turner are in this collection anyway. So the first one is called Out of Season and The Hunter, and it's got, let's see, some of the ones, actually this isn't, I'm not going to go over all the songs on this one because this isn't one of the ones that I listened to as a kid. I do like this one. I don't know that they're the greatest blues band in the world, but they are great. I do like their R&B, their funky R&B and soul stuff more, and their older 50s and late 60s stuff. So Fine. This one has a lot of the songs I listened to as a kid. Bet You Can't Kiss Me Just One Time, Ain't Nobody's Business, Show Ain't Me, Too Hot to Hold, A Fool in Love, Better Get to Steppin'. All of these, We Need an Understanding, are just rockin' great songs. You're So Fine, Poor Little Fool, So Blue Over You, Make 'Em Wait. And some of these are songs that the Ikettes sing lead. And the Ikettes, to my knowledge, changed personnel over time here and there. But I don't know if he was the kind of band leader like James Brown, where he fined that people for singing a wrong note or playing a wrong note. But this is called Cussin', Cryin', and Carryin' On, and this has a bunch of the songs that I liked as a kid. It has another version of A Fool in Love. I don't know if it's the same one or not, but these are just a beautiful set with the cardboard, and these kind of have these paper sleeves in there, which look like they have other lists of other albums on the label. But I don't know if you can find this thing anywhere. I've never seen it since I bought it many years ago. I've never ever seen it since, and I've thankfully kept it in very nice condition. It's a nice little set of their earlier stuff. All right, this one's called Sexy, Seductive, Provocative, and again it has A Fool in Love. It's Gonna Work Out Fine. Mississippi Rolling Stones on this. Rockin' and Rollin' is great. Never Been to Spain. Their version of that is really good. Sugar Sugar, the old Archie's tune, is on here. They did a lot of weird covers too. This one is definitely one of their albums, and I had the vinyl when I was a kid, Working Together, and this is fantastic. This has, the whole thing is great, but it has Get Back by the Beatles, and Oop Oop I Do is really good, and Proud Mary, and Goodbye So Long. It's got Let It Be on it. Yeah, I can kind of do without that. But basically, it's a really this is a really solid effort on their part. Um, yeah, it's hard to tell you what to go out and get of theirs because it's such a hodgepodge to find their stuff. This is a CD that came with a DVD of theirs, a live DVD that I have the DVD on my DVD shelf somewhere. All right, next we have the River Deep Mountain High collection that he did. I don't know if it was all or some of these that he did with, or they did with Phil Spector. I think Phil Spector didn't want Ike, as I recall, and but he probably weaseled or forced his way into the sessions somehow. But yeah, I'm pretty sure River Deep Mountain High is the one that they did with him, and it's got they definitely repeat a lot of their songs and different versions and cover, like I say, a lot of weird covers. I'll Save the Last Dance for Me, which is a great Drifters song. Um, yeah, It's Gonna Work Out Fine is on this. That's a great song. That was on that last album together, Working Together. I Idolize You is one of their old ones, Make 'Em Wait. So, River Deep Mountain High. Then I have this His Woman, Her Man, the Ike Turner Diaries, unreleased funk slash rock, 1970 to 1973. Again, it's just a collection, and you can get all this stuff that I have and not have a lot of overlap, which is why it's so difficult to really consolidate and collect their stuff. So that also they were just prolific. I mean, he was a very prolific songwriter, and she picked a lot of covers too. And she wrote some great songs too. She wrote Nutbush City Limits for sure. Funkier Than a Mosquito's Tweeter, great title there. Another, I believe this is a collection. This has that song on it, the title song, and What You Don't See Is Better Yet. Yeah, it's got the Whole Lot of Love. I have Led Zeppelin on it, which she does on a solo album. It's got something by the Ikettes. Yeah, it's a hodgepodge again. They do some good instrumentals too. I'm not too big into instrumentals, but they do some pretty funky, fun instrumentals. This is Nutbush City Limits and Feel Good, the 2-for-1 kind of deal. Two albums on one CD, and bonus tracks at the end. And it has, of course, Nutbush City Limits and lots of other great stuff. This is a good collection as well, and there's a bunch of these. I have several that you'll see in a moment. Next is Come Together and Enough Said, another Beatles track that they covered, and these have the nice cardboard slipcases. I try to keep those if I can. I believe these are imports, BGD Records. I believe that's a British company, I think. I'm not sure. Yeah, Come Together is one that everybody knows. It Ain't Right is a great one. Evil Man, I Love What You Do to Me. Yeah, it's just lots of great songs on everything that they do. They're so good. So good. Then this one is Live at Carnegie Hall. What You Hear is What You Get. Another one with a slipcover. And the picture is a little... it's the same picture, I guess. And I'm not as big on them on their live recordings as I am on their studio recordings. They're good, but they tend to do less of they do more covers in the studio, in the live recordings. This is Delia's Power and Airwaves. I believe these were later ones. I'm not positive, but another 2-for-1 collection there. There's all the songs on the back. And then we have this little series. I've got several of them, not all of them. The Archive series, Movin' is this one's titled, Volume 3. And it's just, the reason I bought the ones I bought is because I looked them over and they did not have a lot of overlap from what I already had. And these actually come with a nice booklet as well. And most of those are pretty nicely packaged. There are some kind of cheesier, cheaper, collections of their stuff you can find for $2 and $3 in the used section, if you can find them. And they've got a handful of their hits, Fool for You or whatever, the Nutbush City Limits and River Deep Mountain High and Proud Mary and things like that. This is called Volume 6, Pushin', and it's another one. When I bought these, I believe there was a bunch more of them in the actual, there, and I picked out the ones that weren't a lot of overlap, which maybe I should have got the whole series, but I don't remember how much they were. This one's called Rollin'. Number 6. Wait, no, I just showed you 6. I thought number 5. That was number 5. Here's number 6. Roland. Another great collection. And then finally is Ike and Tina Turner, Mr. and Mrs. Soul, and I think I just found this kind of recently. And it definitely has some overlap, but I think I got it because it had stuff I didn't have as well. Or you know what? Maybe this might be a live one. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, maybe it's a live one. I'm not exactly sure. All right, so that's it for Ike and Tina. Now we'll go to the solo Tina. I have a little bit. I have a couple. I have Acid Queen. Remember, she played the Acid Queen in The Who's Tommy. And this has Under My Thumb by the Rolling Stones, Let's Spend the Night Together by the Rolling Stones, Acid Queen by The Who, I Can See for Miles by The Who, Whole Lotta Love by Led Zeppelin, Baby Get It On, which is an Ike and Tina, Bootsy Wheatstraw is an Ike and Tina, and Pick Me Up Tonight and Rockin' and Rollin' are Ike and Tina's songs. But bizarre little collection, Under My Thumb and Let's Spend the Night Together, and I Can See for Miles. It's kind of fun. This one's called Tina Turner Soul Kiss. And this one is the one that has all country songs she does. It has Good Hearted Woman, the one that Waylon and Willie did, and We Had It All, Stand By Your Man, Loving Him Was Easier, You Ain't Woman Enough to Take My Man, Loretta Lynn song. So this one, I had to have a Tina Turner singing country if it existed, so I got that. I don't have Private Dancer. I think I have it downloaded from the library in my iTunes, and I did like the hit songs off of it and some of the other songs. I didn't like much of her other later stuff that I know about. Ike Turner's solo albums are surprisingly good. Ike Turner, Risin' with the Blues. This one is kind of a rock and roll blues one, as I recall. They all kind of are. And this one is, I don't know when this was released, but after they broke up, of course. And this one is a 2-for-1, Blues Roots and Bad Dreams, another Ike Turner solo records, 2 solo records there. And the nice slipcase again. Pretty much the same pictures. And these are both fantastic. I mean, I was shocked to find that his solo stuff was as good as his stuff with Tina. And then my blues country, this one I got recently because I don't have it and has stuff I don't have. It's not as good, and it has a bunch of old Ike and Tina tunes, Sexy Ida, A Fool in Love, Baby Let's Get It On. But as I recall, it was all right. It was good, wasn't great. This one was his last one, I think was his last one, and this one is really good, surprisingly good. Here and Now. Ike Turner and the Kings of Rhythm, and it's got Rocket 88, but of course it's an updated version. Of course, it's an updated version. Another one with a nice slipcase. I don't have his collections of his really old stuff before Tina came along, Anna Marie Bullock, but that's because I don't like it, much of it. It's just very tinny and very, there aren't very good recordings, and it's a lot of collection of bands he was in, not necessarily Ike Turner. I like his singing, I like his playing, I like his writing. And same with Tina Turner. I like her singing and her writing. Last I'm going to show you, I'm not going to show you all of my Ike and Tina DVDs or DVD collections, but I have read this, I, Tina, My Life Story with Kurt Loder, and it's pretty good, and it shares some of their turmoil, explains some of it. I have read some interviews where she said things like, he threw his punches and I threw mine too, and also, I think neither of them were happy with the portrayal in the movie What's Love Got to Do with It, even though she sang the soundtrack, so I don't know how that works out, and I don't know if that's completely true, but I thought I heard that at one point. The Confessions of Ike Turner, Taking Back My Name, Ike Turner. This, if you can find it, I think I got it as a gift because it was pretty pricey, like 20 to 40 bucks somewhere in there, but this is pretty interesting if you can get a hold of it, or in the library or wherever. It talks about his upbringing and shows a lot, which was very, very rough, and really kind of shows how he turned out to be the person he did, why he was such an asshole. And today we would call it molested by a woman when he was, I don't even remember, somewhere between 6 and 10 years old. He was having sex already with grown women. And I know Well, I'm not going to get into all that, but so that was one thing. And I think he had some pretty awful interactions with whites and dealing with racism, and he was very paranoid and very controlling. And I believe he had a really rotten, if this is the right story I'm thinking of, a really rotten situation with his dad dying slowly in some kind of box on their front lawn, a box where you would put people to isolate them because they had some sort of disease at that time, and they were just slowly going to rot away and die, and you just try to treat them and make them comfortable. And I think that's the kind of thing. If you were black, that's all you could get. So yeah, some pretty rough stuff in this. There's definitely plenty of him being obnoxious in this, and plenty of him being, it says "taking back my name," right? Plenty of this where he is gonna, I don't think he goes off on her too much. I think he treats her pretty well in the book, as I recall. I don't recall terribly well, but he tries to state his side of it, but he doesn't come off as as trying to make people think that he was any kind of saint or anything. He knows his mistakes, yet he doesn't, I don't think, fully come clean and say, I did this and I'm an asshole for that and I regret it or anything like that. But it's an interesting read, and it definitely gives you kind of an idea and a picture of how he turned out, how and why he turned out the way he did. No excuses, just some understanding behind that story. Anyway, that's my Ike and Tina Turner video. Please subscribe, please like, please comment. I'd love to hear what you think. And go buy Ike and Tina Turner CDs because they rock. They kick ass. They're fantastic. All right, have a great day.